Hey guys, I'm back. Today we're going to have a look at Suehiro. Suehiro is a small manufacturer with a big name. They're quite known. They're a known brand. They make very good stones. I have a few of them in. I thought I'd take a closer look on them and compare them to each other, what difference are, and so forth and so on. And I also have a few requests when it comes to these stones, so that's one of the reasons why. So, the new Cerex is one of the lines that I feature in my store. Unfortunately, I haven't got any of the old Cerex, the just Cerex. They're supposed to be quite similar. I know the 1000 grit stone on the old Cerex was white. So there's a reason to believe that there are some differences, but I'm not quite sure as to what, because I haven't got any first-hand experiences on them. The new Cerex comes in a couple of different sizes. You have the smaller one, which is, just let me see here, about 62 millimeters by, well, it's 62 millimeters wide, and it's about 20 millimeters tall. As for the other one, it's about 23 millimeter tall and 75 millimeter wide. So there's quite a big difference when it comes to working surface, and that also reflects in the price as well. These guys come mounted on a with some sort of a stand. They're glued to the base. I haven't got the glue off this one yet. I tend to remove them because of storage. It's easier for me to store them like this, and I can just use, a stone holder that I got separate. So these are soaking stones. If you look at my dripping crane here, you'll see that the water enters the stone. So these guys needs to be soaked. The other stones are, I don't know the name of the series, or if you can even call them a series, but they're quite famous for their speed. They are named stones. So this one is the Suehiro Oka. It's a 3000 grit stone. See, the color is very similar, but this guy is a completely different beast. It's a very, very fast and very soft stone. You have probably heard of its, finer brother or sister, the Rika. The Rika 5000 is also a very known stone in the community for its speed and the edge it gives. It's a very fast polishing stone, and a stone that you don't hear too much about. It's the Suehiro 6000 grit. It's a little bit finer than the Rika, got about the same speed, and the Rika is probably the more famous, the more known stone out of these three. Similar sizes as the new Cerex, but softer and faster. So excellent stones. And then you have the new line of stones that I have in. I can show you on this guy as well. That it soaks up the water, so it needs to. These stones, I'm sorry, needs to soak, and that's kind of that's been the mantra of Suehiro for so long. It's softer, soaking stones that are fast and gives great biting edges. Newly they came out with the Debado series, and I don't know if you, of course you can see that. The sizes on these stones are quite larger than their smaller brethren. except the polishing the 4000 grit here, which is a little bit smaller again, but you don't spend as much time on the polishing stones as you would do on the coarser stones with the regular sharpening. So I guess on the smaller grit, it's a good thing to have a little bit extra stone to work with. These guys, however, if we try with the 4000 grit first, you will see that they don't soak up water at all. So these are splash and go stones from Suehiro, which is a welcome addition to their lineup, 1000 grit as well. And the coarser grit stones sometimes have larger pores and will soak up some water, but this guy is not. So I'm sorry for the bad angle there, but there's a lot to get in the shot. So yeah, for the knife, I'll be using my carbon steel blue number 2 Kiritsuka Bunka. This guy has seen some stones in its life, but I like to, when I'm comparing stones, to have some predictable steel, and I like to use the same knife across the board to give me as much of an objective opinion as I possibly can. So yeah, I'm just going to clean this off, and I'll get back to you and we'll get some sharpening done. So it's about time we had a closer look at the LD series from Suehiro, the Splash and Go stones. They are large, they're more expensive, at least the lower grit stones are quite thick, and I like that, because at least on my part, the lower grit stones will always be the stones that I use the most. I don't spend as much time on the polishing stones as I do on the lower grit ones. So yeah, they are delivered not on the stand as the new Cerex is, but they come with this huge rubber base. It's quite heavy. It's not too bad if you compare it to some of the other stuff that's out there. It gives you a good, decent base. It's not wobbly. It sticks pretty well to both the sink bridge and the tabletop, if you want to use that. Personally, I don't like them. I prefer the good old whetstone holder, the spring-loaded one I have. I really love it. So, as I said, we're using the Kiritsuka Bunka. Gonna give it a little sharpening, and yeah, let's get some water on the stone, and you can see that it almost is ready to go. So, gotta get that sink fixed. Got a drippy crane. Yeah, let's just go for it. So the lower grit one, this is 180 grit, is quite hard, and in that it means that you don't have to worry too much about digging into the stone. Of course, if you go too high up, you will dig into the stone, but with normal sharpening, you tend not to want to bite into the stone as much. So when you go edge leading, it's not too big of a deal, and you can pay more attention to keeping a consistent angle and that kind of stuff. So obviously it's 180 grit. We don't have to spend too much time on it, with it being so coarse. And that's why I tend to like to go to rather coarse stones first, because it gives me the opportunity to be a little bit faster. So let's give it, oh, it's the sign out. Yeah. So it's great. It's a solid stone. It feels very hard. I think this is going to last for ages. And it's quite different from what you usually have experienced from Suehiro. Like the Oka or Rika or the new Cerex. It is a completely different stone. So let's just even out the bevel here a little bit. See what we have to work with. It looks good. And I think I have it right where I want it. Yeah. So with that, let's head over to the 1000 grit stone. Feels very soft. Feels very smooth. I'm sorry. You can't feel the grit. It feels, yeah, just completely smooth. So let's see. So you can see the metal just starting to float on the top, as well as some metal starting to stick to the stone already. But it's not too bad. You can see just with rubbing my fingers over here. So it's not too big of a deal. It's not like it's clogging up completely. And yeah, we have a good shiny uniform edge on there. So I'll move it over to the other side. And as with the 180 grit, being a little bit harder stone, you can work edge leading without too much hassle. Starting to look good already. Let's do one more pass on this side. And always inspect. Do one more, I think. And there, I think we have it. And there's one, maybe a little bit on the tip here. Like so. And you see with the white stone and the finer red, we have some clogging in the stone. Try to clean it with a cleaning stone. It should come off fairly easy. So, and then on to the polishing stone. The polishing stone in this case is a 4000 grit. It's a little bit thinner, and I do think that is because of the fact that you don't want to spend as much time on the polishing stone, and you're not going to be as you're not going to be as heavy-handed necessarily. So it's going to last you a while anyway. And you can see that, as with the 1000 grit stone, we do get some initial clogging. At least it would seem so. We still have quite a bit of metal floating on top here, and it won't remove as easy as with the 1000 grit stone. But then again, I'm not trying to remove a lot of material here. I'm just refining that edge. And we are still doing good. Just evening out the bevel, the edge. Just inspecting the what you call it? Oh, I totally forgot the oh, come on. I'm inspecting the edge and the burr. That's the word I was looking for. Trying to make it as small as possible. And I think we are approaching something decent here. And so, I do believe that we are finished. So just for some paper towel, to clean off the knife. And let's do a cut test, just to see what we have. So this is straight off the 4000 grit stone. I know it sounds worse on the microphone than what it does in real life. This is really smooth. Maybe a little bit around there. This bit. Towards the tip. There might be some burr left. What I usually do to remove it is just a regular strop. Make sure the strop is clean. And just do a couple of, that's probably too much, but always want to make sure. Let's try again. Yeah, it's even better. And it's the same along the entire edge, with a decent bite to it as well. So yeah, excellent stones. I'm happy to see that Suehiro has decided to make splash and go stones as well. They are comparable to the new Serac stones in terms of speed. ease of use and size makes it so that I tend to favor these guys. So if you can't spend the extra money, get the LD, the Debado LD stones. They will give you more stones and a similar experience as to the new Cerex, while still being less of a hassle because you don't have to soak them. And yeah, they do give a little bit less feedback than the softer stones, obviously, but I don't feel that you can go wrong with these guys. And if you cannot afford them, the new Cerex stones are great as well. So Suehiro is a decent company. They make very good stones, and I tend to really like them, especially the softer ones. Although the fact that I don't have to soak them probably will mean that I will be pulling out the Debado a little bit more often when I'm doing work, because I can get set up a little bit quicker. So yeah, time is money. I think that's going to be it for this video. It's been long enough. So it's good to be back. I hope to hear from you guys down in the comments. I tend to love that. So yeah. Have a good Easter, guys, and take care.